Welcome everyone to the December 17th public meeting of the Town of Conception Bay South Council. And we'll start this meeting, as we start all meetings, with our land acknowledgement. The Town of Conception Bay South would like to respectfully acknowledge the territory in which we gather as the ancestral homelands of the Beothuk, and the island of Newfoundland as the ancestral homelands of the Mi'kmaq and Beothuk. We also respectfully acknowledge Labrador as the traditional and ancestral homelands of the Innu of Nitassinan, the Inuit of Nunatsiavut, and the Inuit of Nunatuavut. We strive for respectful partnerships with all the peoples of this province as we search for collective healing and true reconciliation and honor this beautiful land together. Okay, first up, it is the adoption of the meeting agenda for tonight. Moved by Councillor Barrett, seconded by Councillor Moores. All in favor? Contrary-minded? Carried. And adoption of the meeting minutes from December the 3rd, moved by Deputy Mayor Goss, seconded by Councillor Hardy. All in favor? Contrary-minded? Carried. Business arising from previous minutes will be dealt with at this meeting and meetings into the future. And next up is visitors' presentations and petitions, and we have some visitors tonight. And we're going to start off with something that goes back to our Santa Claus parade a week or so ago. Fantastic parade, huge turnout, and it was great to see so many involved. And I think maybe for participation in the parade, we had the largest number of participants. So it was great to see that. And we have some of them here tonight getting a special award. So I'm going to move out of this chair, and I'm going to call upon some of our councillors to hand out those awards. And the first award, I'm going to call upon Councillor Tilley and Councillor Butler to present Jim's Carpentry Limited with Best Commercial Float. Folks, come forward for the presentation. Congratulations to Jim's Carpentry Limited. The next award is for Best Non-Commercial Float, and I'm going to call upon Councillors Moores and Barrett to come forward and help hand out the award to the Bayman Rugby Club. Come on up, folks. Great job. Thank you to the Bayman Club. The next one is Best Walking Group, and I'm going to call upon Deputy Mayor Goss and Councillor Hillier to come forward and hand this out to the Queen Elizabeth Cheerleading Group. And I think, yeah. I think you might have had a day off school today, did you? Yeah. You're welcome. All right, congratulations. And finally, the Spirit of Christmas Award, and I'm going to call upon Councillors Hardy and Connors to come forward. And this is being handed out to the CBR Renegades Female Division Team. Come on up, girls. Okay, next up, we have some very special awards to hand out, and these are for the Town of Conception Bay South Long Service Awards for members of our staff that have served the town and its residents for a number of years and continuing. And I'm going to first call upon Councillor Tilley, and I believe you have the award for Brenda Drover. And Brenda, you're here? Yep, I see you. Come on up. And Brenda has served the community in the Department of Recreation. And it is a 10-year service award. Next, I'll call upon Councillor Christine Butler to hand out the 10-year service award for Kayla Hiscock. And Kayla works in our Humane Services Department, and she has been with the town for 10 years. Next, I'll call upon Councillor Shelley Moores to hand out the 10-year service award for Suzanne Gruchy. Suzanne's been working with the town for 10 years and is working in our finance department. Next, I'll call upon Councillor Josh Barrett to hand out the 10-year service award for Reagan Wiseman. Reagan's been with the town for 10 years and currently works in our recreation department. Next, I'll call upon Councillor Rex Hillier. And Councillor Hillier is going to hand Steve Bishop his 10-year long service award. Steve works in our recreation department and very common figure down at the CBS Arena. Next, I'll call upon Councillor Paul Connors, who is going to hand out the 15-year service award for Patrick Murphy. Come on, Patrick. And Patrick has worked with the town for 15 years and is in our Public Works Department. I also want to acknowledge a 15-year service award for Charles Powell. I don't think Charles is with us this evening, but thank you, Charles, for 15 years. Works in our recreation department. Next up, 20 years, Carmel Cole. Come on up. Carmel's been working in the planning department, town of CBS most recently, and I'm going to call Deputy Mayor Andrea Goss. And next we jump to 35 years. 35 years, we're going to call upon Councillor Melissa Hardy and Mr. Scott Clark come up and get his 35-year service award. And Scott, of course, has been working in our Public Works Department. And also with 35 years, I'm going to call upon Charles Renouf to come on up for his 35-year award. And Charles has been working in our recreation department here in the town, and I'll have the privilege. Okay. And there's one other 35 years, and I don't believe Tony Murphy is in attendance this evening, but congratulations and thank you to Tony Murphy, who works in our recreation department for 35 years of service for the town. And also congratulations, there's a retirement notice here for firefighter Albert Butler. I don't believe Albert's with us this evening either. It's a special retirement certificate we have for Albert. So that's it. And Maxine Duffett, sorry as well, she has retired as well and will be getting a little gift there from us. So congratulations to everyone. Thank you. Thank you for your service to the town and its residents, and congratulations to the award winners from our parade. Apparently, people aren't going to stay for your budget resolution. No. Okay. Okay, so the next thing up on our agenda, I will turn it over to Deputy Mayor Andrea Goss. She has a special resolution tonight.
This is for the 2025 budget. Be it so resolved that the town of Conception Bay South accept the balanced budget hereby tabled for the fiscal year of 2025 in the amount of $44,325,422, and the 2025 schedule of rates and fees as presented, and further, be it so resolved that the 2025 municipal budget submission form be submitted to the Minister of Municipal and Provincial Affairs for review and acceptance. So moved.
Do we have a seconder? Councillor Butler. Discussion?
Okay, discussion. Well, this is our fourth budget, the last one of our term. When I kind of look back from the beginning, the first budget to this one was a happier budget. It was a more stable, we had more opportunity to do things. 2022, it was new, we were in the midst of a pandemic. 2023 and 2024 budgets, we found ourselves having to do small increases in mill rates. In 2023, we did a small increase, what we needed to meet the demands that we were faced with. And the same then in 2024, we found ourselves in the same position. And that's really a tough decision to make. Thankfully, this budget with increased revenue, the growth that we've had, we didn't have to do that. and it feels really good that we didn't have to increase any rates and fees. And this is I guess it's a sign. We see expenses and things leveling off. It's a sign of more stable times, which provides optimism and opportunities. And that's what we see for 2025. As a council, we are quite proud of the things that we have been able to bring forward in this budget. I think our residents will be very happy, just besides the holding of fees. I think our residents will be happy to see some of the initiatives in this budget. The town will be assuming ownership of the Manuels River Hibernian Interpretation Center. This was announced in this budget. This came as the Manuels River Board's request, and they got the mandate from their membership to do that. And we look at this as an opportunity for our community, a community space. And in the coming months, we will work together with a transition team, and council will look at the path forward for the Manuels River Hibernian Interpretation Center. There's lots of things in this budget, and I have to say that for the last one, it's a good one. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Councillor Tilley?
Thank you, Your Worship. I think the Deputy Mayor summed it up in those couple of minutes. But, again, this is my 16th budget, and every one of those budgets over the years, I guess, give you butterflies. But whenever you get an opportunity to hold the line on your taxes and with the little increase we got in spending, some things that we are proposing for 2025, I think it's a very well-rounded budget, and I think residents will be happy. Of course, one note is the money that we've earmarked for gateway development to get the place ready. We are certainly still looking at the commercial sector up there, and we hope to have probably more success in the coming years in that area. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Tilley. Councillor Hillier?
Yes, Your Worship, thank you. I just want to congratulate Deputy Mayor on bringing forward a budget. As she said, it's the fourth budget of our term. Thank all the staff and people around these tables for their input. As you said, it's a good budget. There are a lot of good things in there. I just want to, I guess, highlight a couple of things. First of all, from the planning point of view, that I've been involved with a fair bit over this term, the support for affordable housing. No permit fees for housing under federal or provincial programs, and 50% building permit fees for multi-unit buildings. And we know that we've got multi-unit buildings in the hopper right now, ready to go. And we're looking at, as the budget said, some 50 units of affordable housing over the coming months. To the new partnership with Manuels River, is near and dear to my heart. I go back to the origins of the Manuels River National Heritage Society, and it's great to see that this group is continuing on, and that the town has taken on itself to renew that partnership. The highest ever business tax revenue, and I know that's a big deal for us, as we all know that we've had something like 40 new businesses come into town this year, and that's something that we've always pushed for, and we know that traditionally it's been a weakness in our budget, in our finances. And I guess I want to congratulate those people involved with economic development, Councillor Butler and her committee, and the work that they've done this year. Your Worship, last year, 2023, was our 50th anniversary. And as a result, much of our infrastructure is 35, 40, 45, 50 years old. And that's reflected in our budget. The playground at Topsail Beach is I don't know if you call it a health hazard, but it certainly needs replacing. Bridge upgrade at Sergeant Ned's. The tennis courts at Stony Hill, they were put in place for the 1996 Canada Games, or Newfoundland Games. And all of our water and sewer upgrades. We know last night we had a pipe broke down in the Long Pond area, in the area that we're actually putting money in this year to try and eliminate. So all of those things needed to be done because of their age. Now, if we move into the present, I guess this year the province has identified 2025 as the year of sport, and it's certainly fitting that we're now in a position to start work on the site of our new lifestyle centre, and hopefully as the months proceed, and we'll see a start to that in 2025 and add to the sporting life of the young people of our town. And that's all for me. I will be voting for the budget. But before I finish, I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And after tonight, we'll see you all in 2025. Thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you, Councillor Hillier. Councillor Butler.
Thank you, Your Worship. This is actually my 8th year now, so I'd have to say that this is probably the best budget I think that I've been involved with in the 2 terms that I've been here. And it's a pleasure to be able to give such a positive budget to our residents. And a lot of that is due to the hard work of all the staff, the management, the CUPE 3034, and everyone involved in doing the work for the town, for our residents. Of course, it's always good to be able to offer our residents the continuation of property tax reduction initiatives, because they all look for it, and I'm pleased that we're able to continue that. And also to finish our trailway, 18 kilometers. I mean, who doesn't love our trailway? We have so many people, not just from CBS, but from all over, who enjoy it every day, and especially in the evening when the sun is setting. So I just want to say thank you to everybody who's worked hard on this budget, everybody around the table, staff, as I've already said. And I, too, would like to wish everybody a very good Christmas and a happy, healthy New Year. Thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you, Councillor Butler. Councillor Connors.
Thank you, Your Worship. Pleased to say that I'm going to support this budget tonight. And I guess, as I usually say, it's always a challenging process to be able to balance the needs of maintaining the service that we've had, plus be able to add new things. And I think in this budget we've achieved that. We've maintained all our services without any increases in taxes or fees, and we've been able to add some new things. Really pleased that we are now helping or taking over the Mangles River interpretation. It's going to be a great addition to our town infrastructure. I think that was always part of our town infrastructure, but the town never wasn't actually running it. But now the town will take that over, and it will create another great space for groups within our town. Really pleased with that. And as I think Councillor Tilley mentioned, I think that the partnership and with Colliers that we have now for the development of the Gateway, I think that's really proving to be, hoping that's going to prove to be successful. We're hearing some real positive things, so hopefully in 2025 that would bring some really good news. And as we move forward, staying with the Gateway, with our regional recreational centres, allocating money to continue with the engineering and site preparation for that, I think that's all really positive. And as Councillor Hillier said about the business increases that we're after seeing, 40 new businesses in our town last year, 100+ housing starts, I think that's all real positive, and it does show signs that we're moving in the right direction. I think we got a capital budget this year of 18 million plus to spend on various infrastructure projects, so I think that's really positive. I'm really, really pleased that and thankful to Council that we listened and clearly heard concerns from residents of Kelligrews, particularly those living in the treatment plant area, and we're going to invest $100,000 to hire a consultant to try to find a solution, a potential solution to this, and for that, I think the residents in that area are really going to greatly appreciate that. And I'm even probably more excited that we're going to undertake a thorough review of the ATV pilot project to enhance recreational activities in opportunities in Conception Bay South, and with the possibility, if council agrees, that I will be advocating for adding additional routes, and so more people can access our trailways. For the responsible ATV users, I just want to also mention to ATV users that Crown Land for the trailway from the staging area in Seal Cove to Legion Road is still a work in progress. We're still working on that, and I will emphasize that there's no impact to any of our walking trails or anything like that. The walking trails will still not have off-road vehicles on them. So I think this is a very positive and proactive budget speech, and I'll be very glad to vote for it tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Connors. Councillor Morris?
Thank you, Mayor Bent. I want to echo what other people have said and congratulate Deputy Mayor on a fantastic job. And also her comment about a proud moment for council. I think this is an excellent budget. We don't have to have increases for residents. I think is a very important thing with the times that we're living in right now. For me personally, I guess I've been involved with the Recreation Committee since I've been on council. So seeing the things that we're doing to improve recreation and healthy lifestyles for our residents, to me, is very important. I think we're a step above everybody else, and that everyone will want to live here because our community wellness center that we want to get open, the fact that we have 18 kilometers of trailway, the upgrades we're doing to the Topsail Beach Rotary Park, how we're helping out the rugby facilities and the baseball. I just feel that all these things really encourage a healthy lifestyle, and the fact that we now will have Manuel's River under our belt, the interpretation center, and the opportunities that are there to have recreation and culture things offered at that facility, I think it's just going to be, it's very positive for everyone. And I mean, there's many other things I can go on about from all the different departments, but for me, those things are really important, and I think we're really setting the stage right for a healthy place to live and a healthy environment, healthy lifestyle, place to live for all of our residents, and I think that's very important. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Morris. Councillor Hardy?
Thank you, Your Worship. I too will be supporting this budget this evening. I think it's a great budget. Deputy Mayor, thank you for delivering another fantastic budget for the town of CBS. And to our fellow councillors for sticking to it and having lots of conversations, lots of meetings. And to all the staff, thanks for staying the journey with us, because I know we had many of conversations and asked lots of questions and figured out how we could make it what it is today. 2024 seems like a blur. We've accomplished so many things, but yet there's still so many things that we want to do, and I think the 2025 budget shows just that. We're looking to do more. From a capital works perspective, as Deputy Mayor has already stated, it's going to be an ambitious year for us. So I'd like to highlight a few of those things that are coming down the funnel, as this is where I spent most of my time. $3.8 million investment into water and sewer upgrades. That's amazing. And as of today, there's 94% of the town who are available to use the services that are using them. So I think that's pretty amazing. The wastewater treatment plant, like Councillor Connors has already said it, we're allocated $900,000, and then we're also investing $100,000 into the odor pilot project. So I think that's another great initiative to help the residents in the Kelligrews area. An investment of $5 million for the street and sidewalk upgrades to help keep the residents safe. It's always good to know when we're able to have the sidewalks and the streets up to a standard that our residents can appreciate. So I certainly like seeing this one. And our focus on the future development of the Gateway Drive. So it's awesome that we're able to allocate another $1 million to complete the street upgrades in preparation for new development. We need to keep the area appealing, so us staying ahead of it is just doing just that. And lastly, the allocation of the $2.4 million to the replacement of the Seal Cove Bridge. I know the residents in Seal Cove certainly do appreciate that, so I certainly want to thank my fellow councillors on ensuring that was part of the budget. And as the mayor has said in the past, the town of Conception Bay South is open for business, and I think the budget 2025 is focusing on making us the community of choice. So with that said, thank you. Happy holidays for myself, my husband, and my two girls, Emily and Olivia. Safe and happy holidays. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Hardy. Councillor Barrett.
Thank you, Your Worship. I believe the budget is really accumulation of all the initiatives that we've been progressing for a long time on our term on council. And I know a lot of my colleagues have said a number of wonderful things, and it bears repeating. So just bear with me briefly, but we're in an excellent financial position. We've done a lot of work over the past number of years, even before we got on board. And I was very pleased to see that highlighted in our budget this year. And for any future projects, we are well versed to do any borrowing that we might need. Something that hasn't been brought up yet is the change in humane services. I know this was a service, spay neutering is something that we removed in 2017, and I'm very proud that we as a town will be offering this service again next year. So if you adopt a cat or a dog in 2025, with an additional, a small additional cost, we'll ensure that that's spayed and neutered. As some of my colleagues have mentioned already, Topsail Beach, this is a long time coming. This is some planning and visioning has been going on for this site, for the playground for a number of years. The infrastructure is definitely dated, and I'm very excited that next year we will be in a position to replace that facility with something that we can be proud of, something that our town residents and something that certainly folks from away will be able to enjoy. And also, as Chair of Recreation this year, I wanted to echo some of the comments that Councillor Moore's made. I had an opportunity to meet with a lot of recreation groups this year, and very pleased we're able to upgrade that bridge at Sergeant Ned Newton's Field for a rugby facility. We know that's used frequently and has a caliber of hosting many regional and provincial tournaments, so very pleased with that. And pleased to support CBS baseball and enhancing the experience there as well. So very happy about that. And perhaps one of the big points in the budget is the Emmanuel's River transition, and we've certainly been discussing this for a very long time, and we value this partnership, and we see this transition as very important, and bears repeating that we're going to be very methodical in the approach in the future of this facility. And so certainly in the coming months, we'll be very interested in hearing from folks and trying to devise an operational plan of what makes sense for that facility. So please stay tuned on that front as we do the work on that end. The last thing, this is the final budget for our council, and I think this year, as I think the Deputy Mayor put it very well, and I felt like this year in particular, we had a lot of synergies with council and on the priorities for residents of Conception Bay South. So thank you to my council colleagues for this process. Thanks to staff, all your work on this. I know fall is always the busiest time for us, but excited about next year and all these things that will come to fruition. So thanks.
Thank you, Councillor Barrett. Just on the budget, I know the Deputy Mayor has said a couple of times over the past couple of years that we were really the pandemic council, and we had a really, we came in not in the full force of the COVID pandemic. We came in with the full force of the effects of the pandemic financially. We came into record inflation times. We came into hard to get equipment. We came into a time when the cost of everything was incredible, making some of it inaccessible to the town, and it delayed some of the things that we wanted to do. But we held strong, and we didn't deep too far into the pockets of our residents. I know some of our neighbors did dig deeper than we did, but we kept it to a minimum, and we held strong through the last couple of years. We kept our fiscal management in a good level. We were very prudent, and here we are on the other side of it. And this is the first, I would think, budget post-pandemic. It's not that the price of things have gone down. It's just that they don't seem to be going up as much, or maybe at all in some cases anymore, and things are becoming more accessible to us to get fleet replacement and so forth, getting people to support. And One of the things that I'm very proud of is that we were able to do that. We worked very hard, and I remember last couple of years when it came to budget time, we probably met, and we met a lot this year, but we probably met twice as much. We were long hours and a lot of talk about what we were going to do and how it would end up. And thankfully, you know, all that hard work over the last couple of years paid off a little bit this year. We didn't have to spend as much time looking at each other around the table to get to a final place. But you know, it's a great place to be here, and knowing that we've been able to deliver a budget that has what I would call probably far-reaching effect for our residents. And it's not the investments in different places and things that we're doing. It's the people and the community groups and the organizations that will be able to benefit into the future, our residents and our organizations, whether they're sports or community groups. You know, you think about Topsail Beach. I mean, how long have we needed to upgrade the playground at Topsail Beach? So it's going to get done now, and we're very pleased to be able to do that. You know, one of the things that's dear to my heart is Humane Services, and then Councillor Barrett mentioned that, and of course, being able to, what I would like to think will assist people who want to adopt pets, be able to do so and have them spayed and neutered at a reasonable price that we are subsidizing, so that when those pets go out the door, they are spayed and neutered. And I hope that that helps our senior population, our young families who rely and look to have those friends in their homes and make it easier for them. And I'm very proud of that. But, you know, I have to say that, you know, I knocked on a lot of doors in 2021. I told every one of them that we need to expand our commercial tax base, or we're never going to be able to do the things that we want to do. We're never going to be able to, because the residents will have to pay for it all if we don't. And last year, we had a record single year income in commercial taxes. This year would have been a record year except for last year, but combined, we had a record income for the whole year in commercial taxes at about $3.3 million, the highest we have ever seen. That's not going down, folks, that's going up. It's trending in the right direction. And business understands that, and we've been talking to a lot of different groups. And you know, as the population grows, the business will grow, and that commercial tax base will grow, and we'll be able to continue, and councils will be able, into the future, councils will be able to do a lot more than we've been able to do in the past. But this year, I think, is the start of it. 2025 is a great year to get things going. And the other thing, earlier today, we met with the media. One of them asked about how much is Manuel's River going to cost you? And my answer was, it's certainly not going to cost us the amount that would cost to build a building to do what we're going to do at Manuel's River for the next few decades. Manuel's River is a gem in our town, an absolute asset to our community and our residents. And one thing that I can vow, that this council and next councils will make sure that Manuel's River is more accessible to more residents for more things. And I know we're going to meet with groups of people and stakeholders into the future that I think are probably hearing this news today and going, oh boy, we've got a very bright future in Conception Bay South, because now we have some indoor space, some usable space that we can do wonderful things with. And I know that over the next little bit, the town will be meeting with people and looking for input, and we'll come to some conclusions on how best to go forward with Manuel's River. But I do want to thank Manuel's River Community Inc. for all the work that they've done. And if there's any questions about the fossils and the work, the environmental work that they've done, the trails and so forth in the building, we will be absolutely persistent stewards of that into the future. And I can guarantee folks that that'll be true. I don't have too much else to say, except for I want to thank Deputy Mayor Goss for the work that she's done on this. And she read an absolutely flawless budget speech earlier. If you haven't seen it, you ought to tune in on YouTube and have a look. You'll get all the full details, just not our rendition of it. As well, I want to thank our Director of Finance, Liz Davis, and all of my council colleagues for the work that they've done, not just this year, but over the past 3 years in delivering these 4 budgets. And I know, if I remember correctly, the first one, everyone gets elected, budget time, And before you know it, you've got your first one out and away you go. So, and add COVID to that at the same time. So anyway, I want to thank all of you for the work that you've done on this budget and those, and being fantastic and dependable and prudent stewards of the taxpayers' finances. So with that, I will call for a vote. Contrary minded? Carried. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. You have another budget approved, and off to the minister.
Thank you.
Okay, I know that some of you took the time in the budget to say a few words about other things, but I'm going to give everybody the opportunity in new business. If there's anything that they want to say going around the table, we can start this way and go all the way around, because the Deputy Mayor's had a lot of talking to do today and asked for a bit of a break, so I'll give you a couple minutes. But Councillor Tilley?
That's the first time in 2024 I've been asked to speak first twice.
No, you weren't here the other two times.
No, I just want to take this opportunity. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to my fellow councillors and all our staff. And a special mention to Jennifer Lake. Jennifer's on extended leave, so we wish her a Merry Christmas, her and Chris and the kids, and we look forward to seeing her back in the new year. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Thank you, Councillor Tilley. Councillor Butler?
Thank you, Your Worship. Well, I got to say one thing. The senior social was just amazing. I can't go without not saying that. Thanks to the Rotary Club at Northeast Avalon for hosting it, sponsoring it. I'd say it was probably the best time I've had. A lot of counselors, volunteers. It was just wonderful. And the residents just enjoyed it so much, you know. Anyway, they're just so happy that we offer these socials, you know, and we do a number of times in a year, much more than I understand that other areas don't. So I'm pleased to hear that. I didn't know that. Anyway, so Merry Christmas to all, and I won't say all, good night. Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Butler. Councillor Moores, did you have anything?
Sorry. Yes, I just want to not briefly, but give a big shout out to the Recreation Department for the phenomenal organization for the Santa Claus Parade. And I guess that also goes out to the residents and businesses in our community. It was by far one of the best parades that I've seen. It was so great to see so many people involved, right down to the trucks that were playing jingle bells and stuff with their horns. I thought that was fantastic. And then going into that, the tree lighting at the town hall, it was just beautiful. It was a great day, and I know a lot of work goes in by a small amount of staff with the rec department. So I just want to say congrats to them for a great day. There's definitely, I made the joke last year that I would love for it to be like a Hallmark movie, and I got to say the tree lighting with the little pause before the lights came on, it was definitely like a Hallmark movie, because yes, I do love Hallmark movies. But anyway, just a Merry Christmas to everyone and a Happy New Year, and I hope everyone has a fantastic holiday. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Moores. Councillor Barrett?
Thank you, Your Worship, for that. I just wanted to echo what Councillor Moore said. Amazing Christmas season here in Conception Bay South, our parade, our tree lighting, seniors events. So folks, just enjoy it. Our Manuels River walk is lit up. The community park is fantastic. There's some great additions this year, some music. So please enjoy that. The rink will be open as soon as we get cold enough temperatures. So stay tuned for that. We are ready and willing and able to get the ice on that slab as soon as we can. So stay tuned to your socials on that. But beyond that, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Happy New Year.
Thank you, Councillor Barrett. Councillor Hardy?
Thank you, Your Worship. I too just want to echo the Recreation Department on an outstanding job that they've done for all the festivities we've had over the last couple of weeks, because they have been jam-packed. Senior Social was a very, very big hit, so I can't go out with saying about Rex the Reindeer, what a hit that was. If anyone hasn't seen it, hopefully there's pictures flying around, but we did actually have a Rex the Reindeer, too many pictures. And the Santa Claus Parade, the energy, enthusiasm, and just the spirit of Christmas was absolutely in that parade, and everyone felt it. So it just goes to show that I think the season's here, and I think the whole buzz in the town of Conception Bay South, it feels different this time of the year, and certainly looking forward to 2025. So happy holidays, safe Christmas, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Hardy. Councillor Connors.
Thank you. I can see it next year. The lights of CBS starring Councillor Shelley Moores and Rex the reindeer.
Oh, God.
I can see it. When can we start production? I want to take this time to recognize and say thank you to a resident of CBS who, for the past month or so or longer, spent countless volunteer hours organizing the Salvation Army Christmas Kettle. Randy Butler is the person I'm talking about. He's behind the scenes organizing the volunteers who take turns at the kettle. I think all councillors were involved with having their turn at the kettle. And he's constantly going to the 4 locations, picking up the donations or just checking to see if everything's all right. He recently told me that this year he had 644 volunteer slots to fill for the kettle, which is about 1,288 volunteer hours. So he organizes all that himself. So I want to thank Randy and the Salvation Army for what they do. And it's important to point out that every dollar raised in CBS stays in CBS for the residents of CBS. I also want to say thank you to our Public Works Department, who organized a fill the loader bucket with turkeys. And I think I took Andrea's. It's such a huge success, 180 or more turkeys raised. But I also want to clarify some rumors or untruths that have been circulating on social media. The Christmas turkeys collected through that fundraiser have all been given to the Salvation Army, and they all will be staying in CBS. There will be no turkeys unless all CBS residents have enough leaving CBS, but all the turkeys will be staying in CBS. So just like every dollar that's raised here, so all the turkeys that are here. So I just wanted to make sure that everyone hears that and understands that they are staying here. And then wish everybody Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all council staff, everyone. So Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thank you, Councillor Connors. Councillor Hillier.
Yes, Your Worship, takes big shoulders to take a joke. But Councillor Moores, I will say this. I also like Hallmark movies.
I figured you were if you were reindeer.
There we are. All right. So it's not just a reindeer. Your Worship, just wanted to take a moment. I had the opportunity to attend A Christmas Story, as you did, and I believe Councillor Butler, you were there. I don't know if anyone else was there on another night. A Christmas Story by Theatre CBS. And of course, like everything Theatre CBS does, it was professionally done, well done. Everybody enjoyed the evening. But that's not what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about are all of those people in the program who support the arts in our community. The room was full that evening with people to watch, but as you go through the program, you can see that the arts have a great amount of support here in the community. On the front page, the Morgan Group of Companies. And then comes Barry Pettin. Now, Barry's got one there, God love him. Remax Infinity has got one here. Berg's, Maze Variety, Doughboys, and of course, I'm not going to go on to all of them. But obviously, there's a great deal of support for the arts here in our community. I know that we've talked about the arts and the need for the arts and the need for support of the arts with some sort of facility here in the community. Where am I over here? I'm going to finish. I did have a look at the arts online and something positive about the arts and what the arts does for us. I'll just, all kinds of little quotes, but I'll give you one. It says, actors are agents of change. A film, a piece of theater, a piece of music, or a book can make a difference. It can change the world. And Your Worship, obviously the arts has an important place here in Conception Bay South, and we need to be seen, everyone needs to be seen to be supporting it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Hillier. Deputy Mayor Goss.
I'll be quick. I wanted to make mention of Public Works, so I'm going to do it anyway. I'm just going to say, I want to give a shout out to the department for coming up with that great idea. They wanted to do something very generous for the community, and the support was huge. The support from businesses, the community, and staff themselves. Staff themselves brought in donated turkeys, and that's commendable. And despite the confusion on where the turkeys would end up, the staff is really excited to do this again in 2025. So I just want to say thank you to them, and I want to say Merry Christmas to everyone, to the staff and my council colleagues, and to the community in general. Have a very merry and safe Christmas and a happy New Year. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Goss. Yes, CBS, Theatre CBS, an incredible group, and they put off a number of shows over the past few years. And just as to follow up with what Councillor Hillier was saying, A Christmas Story was 2 nights, and they performed that to 270 people went out to see that show. They did Duckish earlier this year. They did 4 nights to over 430 people showed up to that show. Miracle on 34th Street last year, 2 nights, 234 people. So, you know, they've got their sponsors, but they certainly have audience here in Conception Bay South. And any way we can help that into the future would be very, very good. So we'll look at all of that and see where we can go. But it was a tremendous show. Nobody shot their eye out, I don't think. It was close, maybe, but we all got out there unscathed. And if you haven't seen A Christmas Story, have a look at A Christmas Story. You'll know what I'm talking about. We had a water main break apparently yesterday around 1 o'clock. 24 hours later, it's fixed and water's back for everybody. Just a big shout out to our staff, our contract staff that worked 24 hours to get that water main fixed. It was no easy task. It was through the middle of the night, in the dark, in the wet, because it's a water main break. They were dealing with the main transmission line, which is bigger than any other line in the town. It was 2 feet pipe, and they were dealing with that, trying to fix the hole and then trying to cut and replace the pipe. They were able to get that done, and then, of course, a valve problem this morning delayed the fixing of it. So anything that could have went wrong, but they stayed on the job and they got the work done, and away we go today. And as I think Councillor Hillier mentioned, this is the exact same piece of pipe that we are replacing now, 800 meters at $3 million. The new piping is going in just meters away from where this pipe broke. So it wouldn't hold out for us for a few more months, but we're going to commission that new section of the main line in the spring, and hopefully we can put these troubles behind us for a while. Anyway, I know that people have spoken about a number of things that have happened over the past month here in the town, but I have to say that the generosity and support the residents have shown this Christmas season, in particular, for some reason, seems to be outstanding. You mentioned Randy Butler with the kettle drive. I ran into Randy last week at the Riley Mercer Toy Drive. He said that they are up about $8,000 or $9,000 over last year, and I think that their goal was to be up $8,000 and to hit their target, and that's tremendous. And of course, it's great to see them out. The Riley Mercer Toy Drive is a very special event here in our community, and you know, as wonderful as it is, it's tragic for the reason it's needed. But Louise and Bernie have turned their personal tragedy into a community support success story that is unbelievable, and I believe unmatched anywhere else in this province, maybe across the country. It's just tremendous what they continue to do with that toy drove. And we talked about the loader bucket turkeys. I threw 179 in. Somebody threw 180 in after me, and I think there was 181 for sure. So that event was fantastic. And yes, the turkeys are staying here. And the food collected at Santa Claus Parade for the CBS Paradise Food Bank, and just many events, and in churches, parishes around the town that have been collecting and support their own parishioners that you don't hear about, that they do this on a regular basis. Always stepped up this time of year to make sure that people are covered off, and that those that need a visit get a visit, and those that need a little support with food and toys and so forth get that. So just tremendous outpouring of support from our community to those in need, and very heartwarming, and it just it makes you really super proud to be a resident of Conception Bay South. I just want to finish off this sort of round go here with something new for the new year for this council. So we're changing the way we're meeting, and this is basically how it's going to work. Our committee meetings now, and I know that when this council came, we made all of our minutes of our committee meetings public for the first time in the council's history. Well, now we're making our committee meetings public as well. And that is starting on January 14th with the Committee of the Whole meeting that'll be happening here in open chambers at 4:30. So the public can come here, or they can view it online on our YouTube channel and watch the committee meeting, and we'll deal with the matters that are before us that are going to end up as recommendations that will go to our public meeting, and the public meeting will be the week after our Committee of the Whole meeting. That schedule, I believe, I'm not sure if it's on our website now, but certainly website and social media will be out very soon. So on one Tuesday, you'll have a 4:30 Committee of the Whole meeting, which is our committee meeting, which is public. You're welcome to come down and sit here and watch it, or you can sit home and watch it on YouTube. And then the following week, we'll have our public council meeting, but the time will change. Since we're not holding a meeting beforehand, we're going to hold it at 5:30. So our public meetings will now change from 7 o'clock in the evening to 5:30 in the evening, and you can watch us over supper hour when you're having your supper, so that may be more convenient for everyone that likes to watch. So that's going to happen starting in January, and bear with us for any bugs in the system. We're going to work out as we go along, but that's the way it's going to go going forward. That is all I want to speak about at this time. So I'm now going to turn it over to Councillor Gerard Tilley, as always, for the recommendations of the Planning and Development Committee. Councillor Tilley.
Thank you, Your Worship. I guess with all the hoopla of all the good news stories tonight, we still got a town to run, so it's just business as usual. I have several recommendations from our Planning and Development Committee meeting held on December 9th. Item 6A, 35 to 39 Gully Pond Road. Be it so resolved that in accordance with sections 10.7 and 10.11 of the town's development regulations, application number 3589 received on January 8, 2024 to develop the existing building at 3539 Gully Pond Road to a childcare use be approved. And further, be it so resolved that in accordance with sections 10.8 and 10.11 of the town's development regulations, the proposed development of a residential dwelling unit within the childcare center approved form from 3539 Gully Pond Road be refused as a residential apartment unit within a commercial building is not permitted or discretionary use within an R2 land use zone. So moved.
Do we have a seconder? We do. It's Councillor Moore's discussion.
Yes, Your Worship. A bit of a different slant tonight. I'm going to be voting against this particular motion this evening. I had lots of opportunity to speak to residents in the area. While I firmly believe that childcare centres are a necessity in our town, and we can certainly use more, this particular one has space and capacity for up to 117 children, and of course this will have a detrimental effect on traffic in this particular area. So I'll be voting against the motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Tilley. Anyone else want to speak to this motion? No further discussion? All in favor? Contrary minded?
Okay.
1 nay. 8 to 1 carried.
Item 6B, 25 Cliffside Avenue. Be it so resolved that in accordance with sections 3.12 of the town's development regulations, The variance requests to reduce the minimum building line setback and rear yard depth and to increase the maximum lot coverage related to application number 4797, received on November 5th, 2024, for development of a double dwelling at 25 Cliffside Avenue, be refused as compliance with the standards will not prejudice the proper development of the property. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Hilliard, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
Item 6C, number 11 to 13, Stanley's Road. Be it so resolved that in accordance with sections 10.8 and 10.11 of the town's development regulations, application number 4821, received on November 26, 2024, proposing to serve alcohol to clients of a personal service business at 1113 Stanley's Road, be refused as vacating use is not permitted within the R2 land use zone. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Hardy, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
Item 6D, 384 to 390 Fowler's Road. Okay. Good. Item 6D, 384 to 390 Fowler's Road. Be it so resolved that the request to rezone land at 384 to 390 Fowler's Road from rural and open space conservation to commercial light industrial be refused as the proposal does not comply with the requirements of section 9.3.1 of the town's municipal plan. So moved.
Do we have a seconder? Councillor Morris, discussion?
Yes, Your Worship, we received a word from the property owners that they were potentially going to sell the land, but the potential for expansion of the industrial park towards the river is inconsistent with our municipal plan, goals and objectives. So we're going to refuse that.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
Item 6E, number 151 Redbridge Road. Be it so resolved that in accordance with sections 10.8, 10.26, and 10.27 of the town's development regulations, application number 4083, received on May 24th, 2024, proposing to operate a camper trailer storage facility at 151 to 161 Redbridge Road and 161 to 173 Walters Road, be refused as the proposed outdoor storage use is prohibited in the mineral working and rural land use zones. So moved.
There we go. Do we have a seconder? Deputy Mayor Goss, discussion? All in favor? Contrary minded? Carried.
Excuse me, Mayor Bent. The next item, I declared a conflict at the committee level because my business operates from a quarry, an existing quarry in that area.
Item 6F, Redbridge Road. Be it so resolved that in accordance with section 10.7 and 10.27.5 subsection B of the town's development regulations, application number COM-24-127, received on November 5th, 2024, for the development of a sand and gravel quarry be refused as the proposal is contrary to public interest and is proposed to be located within 1,000 meters of an existing residential development. So moved.
Seconder? Councillor Barrett, discussion?
Yes, Your Worship. I received several calls regarding this particular application, and of course, as everybody knows, this is a very, very heavily populated residential area, and it's also one of the main areas for our recreation facilities. And to put more heavy equipment, added heavy equipment on this street, I think would be detrimental to this area. So I'll certainly be supporting the motion to refuse the application.
Anyone else like to speak to this one? Yes, Councillor Barrett.
I want to echo what Councillor Tilley has brought forward. I also received some inquiries on this, and I believe the motion articulating contrary to public interest is accurate. I don't believe this is a good fit for the area, and also be supporting the motion.
Anyone further? All in favor? Contrary-minded? Carried.
Item 6G, number 11 Danick Place.
Okay, yeah.
Item 6G, 11 Danick Place. Be it so resolved that in accordance with sections 5.3, 5.3.1, and 5.22 of the town's development regulations, application number 3525, 3524, and 3523, received on November 23, 2023, to install an above-ground swimming pool, fence, and deck at 11 Danick Place, be approved. So moved.
Seconder, Councillor Butler. Discussion?
Yes, Your Worship, this is one of these applications that we received a few years ago, and under those regulations at the time, we had to refuse the application, but Council has since modified swimming pool regulations, so we are now in a position to recommend approval.
Thank you. Any other comments? All in favor? Contrary-minded? Carried.
Item 6H, 2305 Topsail Road. Be it so resolved that in accordance with section 5.3.1, subsection 1 of the town's development regulations, application number 4607, received on September 6, 2024, for an 18.5 square meter accessory building at 2305 Topsail Road, be refused in consideration that it would not meet the separation distance to adjacent buildings. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Moores, discussion? All in favor? Contrary-minded? Carried.
Item 6I, 2363 to 2371 Topsail Road. Be it so resolved that in accordance with sections 5.3.1, subsection 2A of the town's development regulations, application number 4810, received on November 20th, 2024, for 17.8 square meter accessory building at 2369 Topsail Road, be refused in consideration that the accessory building would be located in the front yard of the property and will be visible from the street and adjoining properties. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Hardy, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary-minded? Carried.
Item 6J, 961 and 963 Conception Bay Highway. Be it so resolved that under the authority of Section 16 of the Urban and Rural Planning Act 2000, the Town Council of Conception Bay South adopts the Conception Bay South Municipal Plan Amendment Number 37, 2024, and the Development Regulations Amendment Number 59, 2024. And further, be it so resolved that under the authority of Section 19 of the Urban and Rural Planning Act 2000, Mr. George Traynor be appointed as Commissioner to hold a public hearing and complete a report respecting Municipal Plan Amendment Number 37, 2024, and Development Regulations Amendment 59, 2024. And further, be it so resolved that under authority of Sections 18 and 21 of the Urban and Rural Planning Act 2000, a public hearing regarding Conception Bay South Municipal Plan Amendment Number 37, 2024, and Development Regulations Amendment Number 59, 2024, be held at 7 p.m. on February 5, 2025 at the Town Hall, and that should the town receive no written submissions up to 2 days before the scheduled date, the public hearing will be cancelled. So moved.
Do we have a seconder? Deputy Mayor Goss, discussion?
Yes, Your Worship, this is just part of the process we do for anyone who wants to do land rezoning.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Contrary-minded? Carried.
And item 6K, the committee report. Be it so resolved that the discussions and decisions made at the December 9th, 2024 meeting of the Planning and Development Committee be accepted, and some of the things that we talked about are so noted there. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Hilliard, discussion? All in favor? Contrary-minded? Carried. Thank you, Councillor Tilley.
And Your Worship, this is, I guess, the last planning committee meeting, because I think, as you mentioned before, we're entering into a different and new territory in the new year, so looking forward to the changes. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Tilley. Next up, recommendations. Oops, still stuff popping up here, of Engineering and Public Works, and that's Councillor Melissa Hardy.
Thank you, Your Worship. Recommendations in Engineering and Public Works Committee. 7A, approval to tender 2024 water and sewer upgrades, sewage pumping stations. Be it so resolved that approval is given to call to tender for 2024 water and sewer upgrades, sewer pumping stations. So moved.
Seconder, Councillor Butler, discussion?
It's part of our commitment to the existing water and sewer systems, and we're currently looking to upgrade 3 sewage pumping stations throughout the town, and hoping it can get started this summer.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Contrary minded? Carried.
Okay, 7B. Before I read out our blanket recommendation, I just to do a little follow-up now from our last public council meeting where I spoke about the Duns Hill Road, Conception Bay Highway intersection pilot program. So the adjusted pilot's actually going to commence later this week. And I guess the most significant adjustment to the pilot program is going to be the option to turn left onto the Duns Hill Road from Conception Bay Highway. So residents can certainly go to our website, and there's certainly more details there. Similar to our previous pilot program, it is going to be in place for 12 months, and a public survey will be offered towards the end of the 12 months, where an opportunity will be provided to residents for any comments, suggestions, or general feedback. So just want to put some more clarification now that we have our reports and stuff back, that this is what the pilot program will look like. And residents have likely seen some of our digital media on the sides of the roads. So 7B, Engineering and Public Works Committee meeting. Be it so resolved that the recommendations and decisions of the Engineering and Public Works Committee held on December 10th, 2024 be accepted as presented. So moved.
Seconder, Councillor Connors. Any discussion? I just wanted to speak to the Duns Hill Road for just a moment. We're trying this pilot project with left-hand turns into Duns Hill Road. Absolutely no left-hand turns out of Duns Hill Road. That really is a thing of the past as far as this council is concerned. We met, and the deputy mayor articulated this a bit last time, and we met with people in the area and found that the pilot project that we did the first time around caused some unexpected trouble in different areas, Greeleytown, All Saints Road, and then All Saints Parish Hall. We're dealing with traffic that we're not doing the proper thing there and trying to get in quicker. But one of the things that we wanted to look at was the left-hand turn in did not seem to be key to the original issue of the left-hand turn out, where it's much harder to see left coming around the corner with traffic on Route 60. All of this works fine if people follow the rules of the road too. And one of the things that I think most people in the area notice is the speed of traffic heading east towards Duns Hill Road up around that turn. And of course, if you're doing more than the speed limit, you are putting yourself in danger, and you're putting people that you may not even be able to see in danger, and you shouldn't be doing that. That is against the law, and that is punishable. And, if you follow the rules of the road in that area, no left-hand turns out of Duns Hill, you left-hand turn safely into Duns Hill, you have a good sight line there. And of course, if people on Route 60 mind the traffic rules of the road, we'll see how it goes. But, we're going to monitor this very closely over the next period of time, and I think it may be in place beyond the life of this council. I'm not sure. So someone in the future will have to make a decision, but we will be watching it very closely, and we pray upon the good nature of the residents and the people that use Route 60 to just do the speed limit and drive to the conditions. Winter's coming on now as well. And hopefully this will relieve some of the issues from the first pilot and will enhance the ability for residents to access the Duns Hill area safely and from a different route. So hopefully that'll all work. Any further comments? All in favor? Aye. Contrary minded? Carried. Thank you, Councillor Hardy. Next up, recommendations of Recreation and Leisure Services, and that is Councillor Barrett.
Thank, oh my, there's a weird noise coming there. Thank you, Your Worship. So my first motion is actually from our committee of the whole meeting earlier today. 8A, Capital Planning Initiative. Be it so resolved that approval be given to engage Capital Management Engineering Limited for the Capital Planning Initiative review for all town-owned buildings at a cost of $48,005. HST excluded. Funds for this project are available in the building maintenance budget. So moved.
Seconder, Councillor Hillier. Discussion?
Yes, Your Worship, this is, we are seeking approval to engage in a contract to review our owned assets in the town. We will be doing a deep dive of 24 facilities. This is really an asset management exercise for us, so that'll allow us to understand what the capital expenditures associated with maintaining our facilities will be. It'll also give us a good understanding about some of the cost-benefit analysis of maintaining the facility versus upgrading it down the road. And so pivotal information for us as council to make appropriate decisions, and also truthfully, the fact that we're getting a evaluation of 24 assets for $48,000 is a good use of our funds. So happy to support this evening.
Any further comments? Yeah, this is one of those things that once in place, we have a good sight line on what needs to be done and when, and then we can do preventative measures that will save the town money in the long run, hopefully, is the idea there.
Yeah, absolutely.
$48,005.
Yes.
Couldn't round it off. Huh?
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
The following two recommendations come from the Recreation Leisure Services Committee that was held on December 10th. Yep, I'm doing that was on during our meeting last week on December 10th. So that's 8B, sorry, repeating myself, but in any case, here we go. Fully inclusive services agreement on mechanical equipment, recreation complex. Be it so resolved that approval be given to call for tender for the fully inclusive services on mechanical equipment recreation complex. So moved.
Seconder. Councillor Connors, discussion?
This is just a standard contract that we have for maintenance of our recreation complex. Our current agreement expires in February, so we just want to renew that.
Any further comments? All in favor? Contrary minded? Carried.
Prior to reading the blanket statement, I did want to just take a few moments to acknowledge the incredible year we had in our recreation department. If we look at year over year, I do believe we very much excel on our service delivery. Certainly, I mean, we look at our green spaces. We had some issues with that last year. This year, we did such a great job. We hosted many of our tried and true events, the Soiree, the Winterfest, day camps, seniors events, but we also introduced a couple new programs, Ribfest, Trailway Trek Half Marathon. So it's been really exciting time in the department. It's going to be really exciting in 2025. It's just a pleasure to work with council colleagues and this portfolio and staff. Everything shakes up next year, so we'll see how all that goes, but I did want to extend a thank you to all of our staff, particularly our Director of Recreation and Leisure Services, Nick Miller, for his commitment over the past year. So great year and great year planned ahead. 8C, Recreation and Leisure Services Committee Report. Be it so resolved that the recommendations and decisions of the Recreation and Leisure Services Committee meeting of December 10th, 2024 be accepted as presented. So moved.
Seconder, Councillor Moores, discussion. Well said, Councillor Barrett. Our recreation staff are called upon to do a lot of stuff all year long, and they do a great job.
Absolutely.
So thank you to them. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
That's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Barrett, and call upon Deputy Mayor Goss again for your committee report this week.
Thank you, Mayor Bent. The recommendations of the Financial and Administrative Services Committee, the last committee, on December the 9th. First one, 9A, order 32A Flats Road. Be it so resolved that the order issued on December 4th, 2024, under the Municipalities Act 1999 and the Town of Conception Bay South Waste Disposal and Property Regulations, ordering the property owner to remove an inoperable boat and a rusty chassis situated on the property located at 32A Flats Road, Conception Bay South, be confirmed. So moved.
Seconder, Council Butler, discussion. All in favor? Aye. Contrary minded? Carried.
9B, Order 18, Hennessy's Place. Be it so resolved that the order issued on December the 4th, 2024, under the Municipalities Act 1999 and the Town of Conception Bay South Waste Disposal and Property Regulations, ordering the property owner and occupant to remove the old appliances and miscellaneous garbage situated on the property located at 18 Hennessy's Place, Conception Bay South, be confirmed. So moved.
Seconder, Council Tilley, discussion. All in favor? Aye. Contrary minded? Carried.
All kinds of funny stuff. Okay, 9C, Policy Draft Amendment Delegation of Planning Authority. Be it so resolved that the delegation of Planning Authority Policy Amendment be adopted as presented. So moved.
Seconder, Council Hillier, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
9D, Accounts Payable Checks. Be it so resolved that approval be given to pay accounts payable invoices totaling $375,323.21 as per the attached report. So moved.
Seconder, Councilor Butler, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
9E, Manual Checks. Be it so resolved that approval be given to ratify the payment of manual checks totaling $80,397.71. So moved.
Seconder, Councilor Moores, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? Carried.
9F, Capital Invoice Approval. Be it so resolved that approval be given to pay capital invoices in the amount of $103,609.61 as per the attached report. So moved.
Seconder, Council Connors, discussion. All in favor? Aye. Contrary minded? Carried.
Tax and other receivable adjustments. Be it so resolved that approval be given to adjust tax and other receivable accounts as presented. So moved.
Seconder, Councilor Tilley, discussion.
There's a list of accounts that are outstanding for more than 6 years, and as per our accountant, we clean it up as it was required.
Yeah, clean up the books, and 6 years is long enough.
Yeah.
Any further comments? All in favor? Aye. Contrary minded? Carried.
9H, approval to pay counselor remuneration for the fiscal year 2025. Be it so resolved that approval be given for the disbursement of counselor remuneration as per the Municipalities Act 1999 and the Municipal Counselors Remuneration and Reimbursement Regulations for the 2025 fiscal year as per the following schedule. So moved.
Seconder, Councilor Hillier, discussion. All in favor? Contrary minded?
It's self-explanatory.
Carried.
Approval, 9I, approval to make payments and release checks during the holiday period. Be it so resolved that approval be given to make and release payments during the holiday period from December 18th to January 20th, 2025, when no council meetings are held. So moved.
Seconder, Councilor Hardy, discussion. All in favor? Aye. Contrary minded? Carried.
9J is the Financial Services Department report. Be it so resolved that the decisions and recommendations of the Financial and Administrative Services Committee meeting held on December the 9th, 2024 be accepted as presented. So moved.
Seconder, Councillor Barrett. Discussion? All in favor? Aye. Contrary minded? Carried. Thank you.
That's the end of my
That's it.
recommendations. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Big night.
Okay. Recommendations of Economic and Development and Tourism, Chair Councillor Butler, no meeting this time around? Okay, nothing to report. And other committee reports, does anybody have? Yes, Councillor Barrett.
We had a Parks Commission meeting on December 4th. It was a good meeting. It was a mix. We have a few new representatives from new board members representing the relevant green spaces in parks. So it was a mix of some housekeeping and planning for 2025. So looking forward to what next year brings on that front.
Okay. Any other committee reports that we're involved in? No others? Okay. Well, that brings the meeting to a close. So just want to thank everybody. Another year in the books. And like everyone else has said, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to everybody. And I'll call for before I call for a motion for adjournment, I just want to note that the Mistletoe Murders is on tonight on the Hallmark channel for those who are looking for something Hallmark to watch. Motion for adjournment. Councillor Tilley, seconded by Councillor Barrett. All in favor? Contrary minded? Carried. Mic on. We'll be back in the new year for our first public committee meeting on January 14th.